under attack.
Welcome everyone, Costin here on Serious Gaming, bringing you another video about Command & Conquer Free-to-Play, formerly known as Generals 2, which they cancelled and now they're just using the assets for Command & Conquer Free-to-Play. The news is that EA announced that there will be a single player in Command & Conquer Free-to-Play because of the massive fan outcry over the lack of single player in the game. A lot of people were pissed, including myself. I don't play Command & Conquer for multiplayer. I've played multiplayer, but the primary focus for me has always been the single player. And I love the single player in most Command & Conquer games, except Red Alert to a certain degree. It's still fun to a point, but it does have issues. And Tiberium Twilight. I only played Tiberium Twilight once and never touched it again. Ever. I never will. It's just fucking horrible. But yeah, it will have a single player. What type of single player? Will it just be a skirmish mode with bots? We don't know. I hope it's not. I hope we do have campaigns, for each faction. We have a GLA campaign, a European Union campaign, and whatever faction they're gonna introduce as the third faction. I hope it's going to be China, because I personally like playing China in the originals, Generals, and 0 Hour, especially 0 Hour. But yeah, that's what I hope for. Will we get this? I don't expect anything from EA at this stage. I think I'm beyond the point of expecting anything out of EA. It's good when they do good things like Battlefield 3 and Armored Kill especially. But I just don't expect anything good from them anymore. Still, I probably shouldn't trash EA too much because they have made some very good games that I've personally enjoyed a great deal. Still, to the point, what kind of system will it use for the campaign if they actually introduce one, or the campaigns? Well, I personally hope, and I think it's reasonable to ask this from EA, that they make it like this. You have 1 or 2 missions for free, with all the units available, no in-game bullshit, no in-game currency system, no unlock system for units. You just get more unit types, the further you get into the campaign. But you get 1 or 2 missions free, and you have to buy the rest. Well, you can buy them one at a time, or you can buy a full campaign, or all the campaigns at once, if you so desire. I think that would be a good system. I'd be willing to spend, I don't know, $30 for all the campaigns, I think. Or even maybe $40, I think that would be relatively okay. I wouldn't be very happy about spending $40 on, 30 missions, or perhaps more. But I'd accept it. So yeah, that's how I personally would want the system to be made. Or the best solution, though I think it's perhaps a bit too unreasonable, is that they give you all the missions for free and you just can buy skins for your units or your faction, or the faction skins for the faction and skins for units. I think that would be a very, very good system for the consumer. But there are things you can reasonably expect from a company and things that you can't, and I think it's a bit too much to ask them to give you all the missions for free and then add skins. I think they will add skins, and I think that you'll be able to get them for the campaign, but you'll probably also have to buy each individual mission. As I've said, I'm fine with that. The worst system they could do is make it similar to Tiberium Twilight, but change so that it works with a free-to-play game, whereby you have to buy individual upgrades or units, for in-game currency or your real money. When I say in-game currency, I don't mean ore or anything like that. Like there's gonna be an in-game currency which you'll be able to buy. I think skins it's very reasonable to expect them to add skins. But yeah, that's how I personally view it. Now, because of the other announcements they made long before this, that they would introduce factions from the other Command & Conquer universes in this, what I would really, really hope for is to have Tiberium campaigns, which are set in the Tiberium universe, which have, ore harvesters and the like. A proper Tiberium 4 game within Command & Conquer free-to-play, proper Tiberium 4 campaign or campaigns in Command & Conquer free-to-play. I think EA really needs to get to consider Tiberium 4 non-canon, to just ignore it, to just throw it into the garbage bin and forget about it. It was just fucking horrible on so many fucking levels. Just ignore it, please. And give us a proper Tiberium 4. You know, that's a dream I have, that they could do it, and they can, actually. I wouldn't want to see any crossover crap in terms of campaign. On a multiplayer level, it's acceptable, if even barely acceptable. You know, if it's just multiplayer, it has no relation to the story. It's just like, oh yeah, we're introducing all these units from other factions in the multiplayer just because we can, and people might find that fun. I can understand that. I think you can accept that, but not on the campaign level. I'm not against crossovers, but I want them to be done with quality. I don't want, just factions to be introduced in a universe just because you can. If you're going to do a crossover, do it for a good sodding reason. There are some good crossover stories, fan fictions that I've read personally, which are actually much better written than official game novels, for instance, for Command & Conquer or Mass Effect. There is a Command & Conquer, Mass Effect, or 3 actually, crossovers which are very high quality, and I'd recommend them to anyone. But yeah, that's how I feel in regards to the single player. I think they can do a good job with it, and I think if you're a Tiberium fan, you can dream, I guess. Perhaps hope is too much, but dream for, a proper Tiberium campaign, Tiberium 4 game inside the Command & Conquer free-to-play. That's what I personally dream of happening. Will it happen? I don't expect anything from EA. We don't know if we are even gonna get campaigns. It could just be a single-player, skirmish experience. But yeah, that's how I feel. Costin here, signing out.